Okay, so like I said, when we went to fix these striker bolts, I was going to aim that camera through this window on it. The window wouldn't go down. We're getting the same thing. Motor runs, window doesn't move. You can hear those torque pins in there just grinding up. So I'm going to get this set up on a tripod. We're going to change this one just like we did the right front one yesterday. It's going to be the same, only different. All right. I went to look at this, see what we got ourselves into, and when I went to open this door, something snapped, and I heard something fall down in there. So this door is broken, which any of you Lincoln guys know that's extremely common in the 95, 6, and 7 cars. The ashtray never stays closed in the back. I didn't know it was a problem on these, but when I went to open it, something snapped. So we got a screw right here. I wanted to see if it had a lighter in it like the earlier ones, and it does. And I see there's a screw here, so we're not going to pry up on this like we did on the front, I don't think. I'd say this screw's the only thing holding it in. Yeah, it just pops right up out of there. Now, just take your fingers and squeeze this little thing to get the illumination lamp off of this lighter. And this is the ground for the lighter. And here's your power for the lighter. And we got 2 Phillips screws here for your window switch. We'll leave these 2 by themselves so we know where they go. Yeah, this little hinge is still on here, but this whole arm, like this one, is, I guess, laying in the bottom of the door. So I guess I'll be looking for one of those. I don't really see any other way of fixing it. We're going to have to find one. I'd say there's probably a spring off of there somewhere too. I'm not even going to touch the other side. Find out. Now we've got Phillips up here at both top corners like we did on the front door. I'm going to lay this one, again, kind of in the shape of the door panel, so when I go to pick them up, I know where they go. We got the little one here. I'll lay it in the center. Now, again, with our pick, we're going to try to get these off without breaking them. You can kind of push down on the top. Somebody mentioned that the other day, but I don't see it moving at all. Moving the bottom at all. That one did not break. That one doesn't even seem tight at the bottom. It's just like the one yesterday. It's gone. It's missing at the bottom. And again, it didn't fall out of there, so I guess it just stays up inside there. You got to kind of wonder how that stays on there, moving the door around. I guess it's just enough, but we're still going to put a dab of glue on it when we put it back together to make sure it doesn't fall off and get lost. Then we will take out these 2 long ones. one good thing about these cars, it's all Phillips screws for the door panels. Not when it comes to all the torques here and there, even on the window motor. I don't think that there's any hidden screws down here in the carpet like there is on the... Well, I can tell you there is an 89. There's one right here down in the corner. 85 through 9 for sure. And then I know at 9567 they hit a screw somewhere in this carpet. But otherwise, like I said, it's about the same thing. Tug on it. Well, there went a clip. That's why before you even start, you might as well just get new clips. Like I say, I already got them. Just go get you a couple packages of these from Napa. 665 2342. Just have them on hand because there's no sense in putting this back together without new ones. It must be awful tight at the top. Spin it around the door handle, lift up off the door lock plunger. Again, twist the light socket out. That's all there is to that. Looks like we got 3 stayed in here. Well, let's take this wire retainer out of the door too. Remember to push that back in. There's another one. They're definitely in better shape than they were on that front one. That went flying over in the seat. So let's fish this stuff through here and see if we can get this moisture barrier up out of our way. Try not to rip it. So we've got the same situation. Let me see that you can see it. I save all those boxes over there because I ship so much stuff. Yeah, we've got 3 rivets that we're going to knock the centers out and drill out. Here's our motor, so we can go ahead and get that unplugged. Well, I'm probably going to need both hands. Let's see. No. Go ahead and fish that through there. So it's going to be the same as yesterday. We've got to get that loose, and then hopefully we don't have as many holes to get to the window motor bolts as we did yesterday in the front door. So hopefully it'll spin around enough we can get it from the inside. So I'll just try my best to stay out of the way of the camera and do what we can do. So let's get the rivets knocked and drilled out first. I'm going to go with this really light and let it eat. And hopefully they don't spin. Get back up there. If I was smart, I'd go get a piece of tape and tape this to the glass. And I will before we go any further. Okay, fine, I'll do it right now. Hold on. Okay. All right. Hopefully that'll step her out of our way. That one came out really good. That one might still be in the bracket. Good. Now, just like yesterday, doing the front one, I'm going to pause it and vacuum this mess up and get the stuff out of the bottom of the door that fell down in there. Okay, here's what you got to get out of the door. I'm trying to make sure that you guys see what I'm talking about. That's the centers that you knock out of the rivets, and then this is what's on the back of there that when you drill the rivet out, this all falls down the door. You got to get that out of there. So, and you don't want anything plugging up the drain holes in the door. So, also, as I went to vacuum that stuff up, I found this stuff laying on the floor, which are the pieces. There's the spring and the piece that broke off of the ashtray lid. So, you know, a guy might get lucky with some super glue or something to glue that back on. You can figure out where the spring goes, but honestly, I hate to even touch the other side to even see where it goes. That piece would glue right back on there, but I don't know. I really don't want to touch the other ashtray because I'm afraid the same thing could happen. So, just going to point that out. All right, so luckily this drops down far enough to where we can get on every one of these bolts with this square-headed bit. Just remember, just like on the front, when you go to put it back in, there's that little hook and hook right up here in this square right here. Okay, the bracket's off. It was sitting there like that, so I'm just going to set it in right here so I can see, remember how it goes. Now, just because that front one came apart without the spool coming out, I'm not going to take any chances. I'm going to watch really close. Let me make sure you guys are on this. Oops, sorry. I'm going to start prying this motor off here. It's not easy to get your both hands in there at the same time. Okay, good. It's fully encased just like the front one was. So we don't have to worry about the spool popping out. You're not going to have that on like a Chrysler minivan and a lot of other vehicles. That spool is not encased, and if it flies out and unwinds, you just will get a new window regulator. All right, let's get set up over here and put new torque pins in this thing. Okay, yesterday I told you guys a T15, but actually this T20 fits in here a lot more snug. So grab yourself a T20. Pop this up. I see this one has a lot bigger chunks. It's not totally turned to powder like the driver's side was. Driver's front. Damn it. Passenger front. Right front window is what we worked on. Pry this up. That's probably a keyless entry sale, so I better take it. 1 second. Okay, yeah, that's exactly what it was. See, I make these plug-and-play remote keyless entries for all these older OBS Ford trucks that never had it, and I sell a bunch of them. I take those keyless entries and I turn them into a T-harness. You can see that on my channel if you look. But see, I take that and turn it into this where you just unplug the factory harness and plug those in, and I sell a bunch of them. So, all right, let's get back on this. Got to get all this crap out of here. Like I said, it's not terrible if you don't get it all because it's just going to chew it up. It's done a pretty good job of chewing up the big chunks. These little bitty ones aren't going to hurt it. Well, I'm going to grab that wire brush again and knock some of that out of those teeth. And I'll grab the grease gun again. Squirt a little bit of grease in here. All right, put that back in. grab yourself 3 torque pins. Again, you get these off eBay. They're called different things. Torque pins, window motor pins, window motor bushings, but you can find them on there pretty easy. Set these in there cockeyed. Yesterday, that one went right in there. A lot of times you do have to put it in a vise to get it started. Even got a piece of that on my fat gut. All right, let me get that grease gun, squirt a little bit of grease in there. The screw back in it. A lot of these Ford window motors, like especially you get to the trucks and Broncos of the 90s, they've got a little C-clip right here that's almost impossible to get off. And when you do get it off, it's damaged and it won't snap back on. And I don't even know why you have it, because number one, it can't come out of this metal plate. And then it's bolted up against the window regulator. So I don't know why they thought all of a sudden they needed to start putting a C-clip there. It's not needed. All right, let's get this thing back in the car. All right, guys, so I stopped for lunch, and right before I went to lunch, I glued that piece back on here for this door. So actually it's back in its pivots, and it will stay closed. But I found another spring, so there's actually 2, and this one's still here where it hooks in. It would hook in right there, and then it would hook in right here where it broke. Looks kind of blurry, but right there is where it would hook in, and then it would hook here, but this one where it hooks in is broken off right here. So I'm just going to leave the springs off, because I have a feeling if I put this spring back on here and attach to this, the tension is just going to pull this back apart. So at least the door does open now, and it will stay closed. It doesn't just fall down in there. So we're going to be happy with that. So let's get this window motor back in. See if I can zoom in on it a little bit. Okay. Now, same thing as yesterday. We've got to get this motor, we've got to get these splines lined up just right. Just got to kind of move it back and forth to get it to slip back in that regulator. And again, my arms and my head is probably going to be in the way, and I apologize. I don't really know what else to do. So here it goes. I'm going to try it. I'm not sure why it's not slipping in there. I'm just not holding my mouth right, I guess. yesterday, that one slipped right in there. Again, that's why I like to do it in real time and not skip parts, because I don't want it to lead you wrong and make you think that it's all a piece of cake, because it doesn't always work that way. I don't know why that's not going in there. It looks like it should. We know it came out of it. I don't know why. Well, I may edit some of this out. Okay, there it went. Slipped right in. You just got to hold your mouth right. And then we need to either push the window up or down to get it to line up there. Now we got to get our metal bracket back on here. I believe I laid it up there so it's just like that. I'm just going to snug that one so we can spin these. Now the last one. Now we can snug them all up. And come back up here and put our hook right in this little holder and get ready to rivet it back in. Go ahead and pull the wire for the window motor back through. Plug it in. Let's see. I'm wondering if that was coming in that other hole. No, I think it was coming in the bottom one. There we go. That's more like it. All right. Let's see where we're at here. Okay. Hold it up against there. You just got to kind of figure out how to use your body and hold that at the same time. Next one. And the last one. Okay. Let's turn the key on. I got my grease here. Now we don't want this on the window. I want to go back to tucking it in here. Again, just get it there on these slides. Try to keep getting it on the glass. Again, stop before you get to the bottom. Don't let it slam down in the door. Bump it a few times. Go up before you get to the top. Just snug it up in there. Down. Working pretty good. So we'll get this repositioned and we'll replace the door panel clips and get it put back on. All right, let's get all these old clips out of here. As you see in the beginning, some of them were still in the door. Remember, 665-2342 at Napa. Perfect replacement. They are tight. But them things are tight going on there. Jeez. Next package. Well, that's the perfect amount, 2 packages. And they are tight going on there, geez. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And there's 6 in a package, so you need 2 packages. Set this back over here. Get our wires fed back through. Go back around the door handle. Remember to stick this back in here where it was. Okay. I guess we can grab the door panel. This is a little loose, this handle, and it's got some, looks like nuts back here that tighten it up. So, now, you know what, I'm going to leave it alone because once you stick these through there, it's tight and I'm not going to take a chance on breaking something. So, let's just put it back on. Twist your light socket back in. Sometimes these things will fight you too. There we go. This has to come back up through here. Get the door lock plunger through the hole. Swing it around and catch the door handle. Line up the holes. Start pushing it in. Let's put these 2 back in here first and see how it tightens it up. that's tight, so we're not going to mess anything on the back of it. Now remember this, I set this one kind of in the shape on the floor mat, the way the door panel's laid out. Same with this one. Got this little bitty one in the center. I tell you, part of me really wants to try putting that spring on there, but I think I'm just asking for trouble. So I'm going to leave well enough alone, put this back together. Lay these two down here right together. Don't force those if they don't act like they want to go. Try the other hole because they've got like different threads cut. Like I said, these chrome things will just bust right out. Do not over tighten them. Power for the lighter. Ground for the lighter. And squeeze the little tabs to put the illuminated ashtray light back on here. Slide the bottom little tabs in first. Put the screw in. Gently close the door. This one did not break. This one, I'm going to grab the Gorilla Glue. I'll put a little bit on this top, even though it's not broken. And down here on the bottom where it is. You can use like double sticky trim tape, 3M, to stick the stuff back onto, but I just happen to have this and I think it's going to work fine. It did on the one yesterday, I checked it. Hook it up top. Just hold it there. And I think the key's still on, so Bump it. Down we go. Stop. Far enough. Don't let it slam down the door. Bump it. Go up. Right before you get to the top. Stop. It's as far as you need to go. Alright guys, that's all there is to fixing that window. I hope, again, that this helped you. If it did, please hit that thumbs up and leave me a comment and hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more fix-its. And I think I'm going to hit a junkyard or two here coming up for long, and I think I've got some pretty good ideas coming up, so please stay tuned. Thank you very much for watching.